How did a Ghanaian engineering student in China turn into Africa's biggest YouTuber? It sounds almost impossible, but that's exactly what happened. What began as a young man with a camera, documenting his life abroad, would soon grow into one of the most powerful digital platforms reshaping how the world sees Africa. From hilarious culture shock skits in China to jaw-dropping travel documentaries across the continent, Wode Maya's videos have captured millions of hearts. His clips spark conversations, bring laughter, and sometimes even stir controversy. But through it all, his audience only grew bigger. People from Africa and beyond tuning in to see the continent through a lens rarely shown on mainstream media. This isn't just a story about vlogs or viral moments. It's about vision, resilience, and the power of storytelling. It's about how one man built a movement, one video at a time. This is the rise of Wode Maya and the making of his YouTube empire. Born in Ghana as Berthold Kobe Winkler Akon, the world would later come to know him by a name that means child of the world, Wode Maya. Growing up in a small town, his dreams stretched far beyond the borders of his home country. Education was his ticket, and it eventually carried him all the way to China, where he pursued a degree in aeronautical engineering. But life in China wasn't as simple as books and lectures. For the first time, he was confronted with a completely different culture, and with that came moments of isolation, misunderstanding, and even prejudice. Instead of letting those experiences break him, he turned them into something powerful. He used humor. With a camera in hand, he began making skits about the everyday challenges of being an African in China, blending comedy with cultural commentary that resonated with thousands. Those early videos, raw and unpolished, quickly went viral. People laughed at the funny situations he acted out, but they also connected with the deeper message behind them. In a digital space where Africans were often invisible or misrepresented, Wode Maya carved out his own lane. What started as light-hearted jokes about cultural shock soon became the foundation of a much bigger mission. As his channel grew, Wode Maya realized something important. While people enjoyed his comedy skits, there was a much bigger story waiting to be told. On YouTube, Africa was often portrayed through a narrow, negative lens: poverty, conflict, and struggle. But that wasn't the Africa he knew. He had seen innovation, resilience, and communities building a future for themselves. The realization struck him: if no one else was going to show that Africa, then he would. So his content began to shift. The jokes and culture shock sketches gave way to something more ambitious: telling African stories by Africans. This was the birth of his now famous series, Africa to the World. With a simple yet powerful mission, Wode Maya set out to travel across the continent, documenting the lives of everyday people, spotlighting entrepreneurs, and showing cities and towns in a light the mainstream rarely did. Each video became a window into Africa's diversity, its booming businesses, thriving cultures, and untold opportunities. Viewers who had only seen stereotypes were suddenly confronted with a different narrative, one filled with pride and possibility. By finding his niche, Wode Maya was no longer just making YouTube videos. He was reshaping how millions of people, both inside and outside Africa, saw the continent. Wode Maya's rise didn't happen overnight. It was fueled by consistency. No matter the challenges, whether it was poor internet, exhausting travel, or limited resources, he kept uploading. Week after week, video after video, his audience knew they could count on him. That consistency built trust, and trust built a loyal following. But it wasn't just about showing up, it was about what he chose to show. His travel-driven storytelling became the heartbeat of his channel. From dusty village roads to bustling city skylines, Wode Maya highlighted stories that most media outlets ignored. Each vlog was a journey, sometimes into the lives of entrepreneurs building businesses from scratch, sometimes into communities preserving traditions, always into the reality of Africa as it truly is. He also knew the power of collaboration. By working with the local creators, entrepreneurs, and changemakers, he amplified voices that might have otherwise gone unheard. And through constant engagement with his audience, reading comments, sparking conversations, and celebrating milestones together, he transformed viewers into a community. For many Africans, his success wasn't just his own, it was a source of pride, proof that their stories mattered on the global stage. Before we jump back into Wode Maya's incredible journey, here's a quick pause. If you're enjoying this story and want to see more inspiring content about Africa's game changers, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. It only takes a second and helps us keep bringing you powerful stories just like this one. Behind the millions of views and viral moments, Wode Maya's journey was far from easy. In the early days, financial struggles weighed heavily on him. Traveling across countries to document stories required resources he didn't always have. And there were times when keeping the dream alive meant sacrificing comfort, stability, and even personal security. Yet, he pressed on, determined to build something bigger than himself. With visibility came criticism. Some accused him of being too positive, of painting a picture of Africa that ignored its struggles. Others called him biased, questioning his choice to focus on success stories instead of challenges. But for Wode Maya, the mission was clear. He wasn't denying Africa's problems. He was balancing the narrative. Where the world only saw poverty and chaos, he chose to show progress, ambition, and hope. On top of that came the difficulties of constant travel, crossing borders, dealing with visas, navigating unsafe environments, and at times putting himself at risk just to bring authentic stories to his audience. Through it all, his motivation never wavered. Each obstacle was fuel, a reminder that his work mattered. What kept him going was the knowledge that his videos were changing how Africa was seen and inspiring millions to take pride in their roots. Today, Wode Maya's journey stands as a testament to how far vision and persistence can go. From his very first skits in China to crossing the incredible milestone of over 1 million subscribers, he has built not just a channel, but an empire. His videos now reach audiences across continents, proving that African stories have a global stage and a global audience. The impact is undeniable. For millions, his content has shattered old stereotypes and offered a fresh perspective on Africa. Viewers from around the world see thriving cities, innovative businesses, and vibrant cultures that challenge everything they thought they knew. At the same time, young Africans watching his journey are inspired to tell their own stories, creating a ripple effect that goes far beyond his channel. And Wode Maya hasn't stopped at YouTube. His influence has expanded into speaking engagements, high-profile collaborations, and investments that support African creators and entrepreneurs. By lifting others as he climbs, he has turned his personal success into a shared movement. The boy who once joked about cultural shock in China is now one of the most influential digital storytellers of a generation. Proof that one camera and one voice can change the world's perception of a continent. Wode Maya's journey leaves behind more than just a trail of viral videos. It offers powerful lessons. At the core of his success is authenticity. He never tried to fit into a mold or mimic what others were doing. By staying true to his voice, his humor, and his vision for Africa, he connected with audiences on a deeper level. People weren't just watching videos. They were watching someone who believed in his own story. His work also underscores the importance of representation. For too long, Africa's image was shaped by outsiders, often reduced to negative headlines and charity appeals. Wode Maya proved that when Africans take control of their own narratives, the picture looks very different. Representation isn't just about pride, it's about power, visibility, and changing how the world engages with the continent. Most of all, his journey shows the transformative force of storytelling. With nothing more than a camera and determination, one man shifted global conversations and inspired countless others to do the same. Wode Maya's story is a reminder that the tools to change perceptions are within reach, and that even a single voice can spark a movement felt around the world. From a small town in Ghana to building Africa's biggest YouTube channel, Wode Maya proved that your story matters. His journey shows that no dream is too small, no beginning too humble, and no voice too quiet to make an impact on the world. So let me ask you, what story would you tell if you had a global stage? What truth, idea, or vision would you share with millions? The world is waiting for voices like yours. If Wode Maya's journey inspired you, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more powerful stories, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who knows? Your story could be the next one to change the narrative.